Hey y'all, today I want to talk to you about why some men fumble really good women and why those women tend to blame themselves. Now, this dynamic that I'm talking about generally happens between an avoidant man and an anxious woman. And I talk a lot about the avoidant anxious dynamic because that is my experience. When I healed out of anxious attachment, it changed my very life. It changed the way I relate and show up in relationships, and I want that same for you. And the reason why I want you to be clear on this dynamic is because a lot of women blame themselves when men pull away, and a lot of avoidant men do this. They come on strong, they pull away, and women are left blaming themselves. So I want to unpack this dynamic a little bit so you will be clear about it and you will know how to maneuver and get the healing that you need, because you have to heal out of this relationship in order to be over it. There's no other way other than doing the inner work to heal. Now, again, the reason why avoidant men and anxious women are attached or attracted to each other is because they feed each other's wounds. An avoidant man has a lot of fear around intimacy and connection, and an anxious woman is full of insecurities. She's trying to prove her worth, and so while this man fears that connection, this woman wants that connection. So he pulls away, she chases, then when she's tired, she lets go. He comes back because he does want a relationship. He does want intimacy and connection, but the problem is he fears it at the same time. So I just want to jump into 5 top reasons why I see that men do this and why women blame themselves. Well, before I get to the first one, let me just also say a lot of this behavior is subconscious behavior. A lot of men and women don't know that they're exhibiting this behavior because it is subconscious. It is the unconscious that behaves this way. And 95% of our lives are run by our subconscious beliefs and values. That is the program we're running. I don't care what you say you want or how you can verbalize and articulate the kind of relationship you want. Trust me, if that goes against what is programmed in your subconscious, you're not going to live that out. You are always going to resort back to what your subconscious beliefs and values are. And unfortunately, because adult men and women have been wounded in childhood, and it informed our beliefs and our subconscious, and those beliefs and subconscious that we learned as children that told us we weren't worthy, or told us that we need to be afraid and fearful of relationships and all of that, unless we reprogrammed our minds, we're still running on that old program that we learned as children. And that's why we can't have successful relationships. So I'm just going to point out 5 of the reasons why men fumble good women and why women blame themselves. And the first reason that men fumble good women is because they fear being vulnerable. Vulnerability feels unsafe to an avoidant man. And so when this woman shows up in his life, and she's open to love, he sees that subconsciously as a threat. And so he sees being vulnerable as a risk, because life has taught him, childhood has taught him that he can't trust and it's not safe to be vulnerable. So what he does when it's time for this relationship to go to the next level, to be vulnerable, he runs or he pulls away. Now, the reason why the woman blames herself is because anxious women have been conditioned to believe that they are not worthy. They're full of insecurities and self-doubt. So when he pulls away, she doesn't see that as a him problem. She sees that as a her problem. So she's thinking, what did I do wrong? I did something wrong, so I'm going to fix this. And so this is why women blame themselves, and they blame themselves especially when men fear vulnerability or taking the relationship to the next level. They see that as a problem for themselves. Another reason that men fumble really good women that they want to be in relationships, but they fumble these women, is because a lot of avoidant men confuse deep intimacy and connection with losing their independence and their freedom. Men relate emotional closeness with being trapped and a loss of autonomy. And so avoidant men are deathly afraid of being stuck and shackled. And so when the relationship starts to get close, they run, they pull away, they avoid. Now, the woman when he pulls away, this triggers the chaser and the pursuer in the anxious woman. She feels her love getting away, or the man that she wants to be with getting away. So again, she's looking at, I did something wrong, so if I did something wrong, I can fix this. So she believes that she can reel him back in with doing something, or chasing behind him, or letting him know that she really, really cares, and that begins the cycle of chasing and running and chasing. Anxious women don't realize that it's not her issue that he pulled away. She sees that as her issue to fix. She doesn't look at it as, oh, he needs to work out something on his own. And so that begins that whole dynamic. So the second reason is this man feels that he's losing autonomy, he's losing his freedom, and she sees it as he's getting away. I need to do something because I caused some kind of rupture in this relationship, but I need to fix it. And that's another reason why men pull away and women blame themselves. The third reason that men fumble really good women that they want to be with is because of unhealed childhood wounds, or a wound that happened in another relationship that they haven't totally healed. His emotional needs went unmet, and as he grew up, love and affection and caring is something that's foreign to him. If this is a man who grew up without someone telling him that they loved him, or not nurturing him in a certain way, these unhealed childhood wounds, when he grows up with them, love can feel foreign. Love feels, unfamiliar. So when this woman is trying to love him, he doesn't see that as something he is used to. I think bugs are starting to bite me. He doesn't see it as something he's used to, so it's foreign, so he got to reject it. And this is why men also pull away, or they fumble good women, because love feels foreign and love feels unfamiliar. And so when these unhealed childhood wounds pop up, what does the anxious woman do? She connects that wound to her worthiness. It's sad, but it is true. Women who are anxious see their worth tied to his wound. So if she can get him to heal, or she can fix that wound or feel it, it says something about her worth. If she can't get this man to love her and to stay and to heal and be with her, it reinforces her inability to be loved. And that again is the chase and pull. That's why she blames herself. She's saying, if he's getting away, I did something, I gotta fix it. And that fix it chaser mentality, that mindset that if I don't do this, it says something about me. She connects her worthiness to his wounds. The fourth reason that men fumble good women, and why the women blame themselves, is because a woman's basic need in a relationship, she needs to feel affection, she needs to feel safe, she needs to feel connected. And a lot of times when it comes to avoidant men, they see that as a woman who's too needy. She needs too much. And it's not that she needs too much. These are just basic things that a woman needs. She needs affection. She needs connection. She needs to feel safe. She needs all of these things. But the man who's avoidant sees this as she's needy. And so again, he's off to the races. He runs away. And what does she do? She sees his lack of capacity to love, because that's what his issue is. He just doesn't have the capacity to love. It's not that she's too much. It's just that he doesn't have that capacity to really make space for that kind of closeness and intimacy. So she sees his lack of capacity and his lack of connection as something that is rooted in her worthiness. Just like I said before, his emotional lack causes her to overextend and overgive and overproduce and overfunction. And she thinks if she does all of these things that she can reel him back in. And getting him to open up and connect and stay really says something about her worth and about who she is. And so she has to do something about that. So again, his capacity to love, or the lack thereof, and her seeing that as connected to her worthiness, is what causes that dynamic. He's running away, he fumbles her, he runs away, and she does all the chasing. So that is number 4. The fifth reason that I believe well, I don't believe, I've experienced that a man, an avoidant man, will fumble a good woman that he really does care about and love, is because deep down he doesn't believe he's worthy of lasting love. Something happened in childhood, somewhere in life, that told him that he wasn't worthy, and he's, not worthy of a lasting love. So what does he do? He sabotages. This is another way that men fumble perfectly good women that were meant for them, is they deep down don't feel that they're worthy of it, so they sabotage. And I've seen it happen in my own life, and I've seen it happen in other women that I know and have worked with. I've seen it happen in their relationships as well. And what happens when the man sabotages the relationship, what the avoidant woman does is she sees his behavior, his pulling away, his running away, his sabotaging. When she sees all of that behavior, again, it's connected to her worthiness, and she says to herself, it is something I did subconsciously. Now, I'm not saying she's verbally saying these things, but I am saying subconsciously she believes that his sabotaging the relationship is something about her. She doesn't see it as a him problem. Again, she sees it as a her problem, and she wants to fix it because it says something about who she is and her worth. Because if she can get this man to love her, then that means she's worthy. She doesn't know or believe or trust that she's worthy all on her own. She must have validation. She must have reassurance. She must have a relationship that says, hey, look at me, I'm worthy. She doesn't know that that worthiness comes from within. She hasn't yet learned that she has intrinsic value and that she's born worthy. So she will chase and she will hunt down and she will pursue until she gets this man to validate her worth. But that will never happen. It will never happen. And I think possibly God created this dynamic so we can heal, because I'm a strong component in believing that a lot of people say you have to heal before you get in a relationship. These bugs are really tearing me up out here, so I'm getting ready to go in the house. But a lot of people think you have to heal before you get in a relationship. I'm one who believes that being in a relationship is what causes you to identify the places and spaces that need the healing. So those are the 5 reasons, top reasons, why men fumble perfectly good women and why women chase behind them and blame themselves. Now, at the end of the day, I'm just talking about the avoidant man. He fumbles a good woman because he wants love, but at the same time, he fears love. And so that causes him to have this push and pull within himself. Not just the woman has a push and pull issue. The man is conflicted and struggling with that on his own because he wants love, but at the same time, he's deathly afraid of it. Now, when it comes to the anxious woman, the bottom line for her is she blames herself when this man behaves this way, because deep down she has a need to prove that she is worthy of love and she is desirable. Now, let me just say this, as a woman who has done all of the things that I've mentioned. I've chased, I've hunted down, I have blamed myself, I've done all the things, and this chasing behavior is not a reflection of you being broken. It is just a reflection of how you have been conditioned to do relationships through childhood upbringing or through other relationship dynamics. You're not broken. It's just how you learned to do relationships. And what you do have to do is unlearn what you've learned. And that will require you to do a lot of inner work. That's what I had to do. And nothing is broken about you. You still have your intrinsic value. You just have to lean into it. You still are worthy. You just have to lean into it and embody that worthiness. Now, there are just 3 things that I want to leave you with, that I want you to remember. And one is, until you heal, you will always be drawn to emotionally unavailable, avoidant men. Until you do the inner work to heal yourself, you will always be drawn to avoidant men, because again, avoidant men and anxious women, they feed each other's wounds. So that's why they are drawn together. That's why they come together in relationships. He's running because he's afraid, and you're chasing because you need him to validate you. And you will always do that until you heal. Now, the second thing is your best intentions won't heal him. I know, been there, done that, but you can try as hard as you can. Your best intentions won't heal him. I know you love him deeply. I know you care, but your caring and your wanting to heal him is rooted in toxic behavior. Your toxic behavior, because your desire to help him heal is really you trying to prove that you're worthy. Because if you can get him to stay, if you can get him to love you, that says something about you. That says that you're worthy, and you need to find your worth and embody your worth outside of any other person, especially a man. The third thing that I want you to know is that your worthiness is not connected to a man's capacity to love you. It is not. It is not. You are lovable already on your own. His capacity or his ability or inability to love you has nothing to do with your worth. So I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart, of someone who's been there, done that. I want you to know that. I will say that you do have to do the inner work to get there, and that's not always easy, but if you want someone to help you, I'm going to put a link to my website below, awakenhernow.com, and if you want to book a session with me, I would love nothing more than to help you heal and journey with you through your healing process. I'm also having a group coaching class starting in October, and I'm opening the doors of that class on September 30th. So if you want to be one of the 10 women, because I'm leaving it at 10 women, because I want to do the intimate work with these women to walk them through this healing journey. The class and the group coaching course is called Awaken the Secure Woman Within, and I'm taking 10 women in this class. If you want to be a part of these 10 women, the link will be in the description below to sign up for the email so you can get the first notice when it comes out. Now, I love you all. You know, I created Awaken Her Now so we can awaken to the best versions of ourselves, and I am here for you on this journey. Now, what I do want you to do is like this video, thumbs it up, help YouTube send it to other women who may need this kind of support. And I want you to take care of yourself, be good to you, know that you're worthy, do your inner work, look yourself in the mirror every morning and tell yourself that you are worthy, because you are. Thank you for watching this video. I can't wait to make the next one for you. I can't wait till you join my email list, because I send out weekly affirmations and encouragement to help you along this journey, because I know how it is when you're trying to heal out of anxious attachment, or you're trying to be the best version of yourselves. So again, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.